cut my string. She cut my string.
Right, bear with us. We're trying again. I hope there'll be people still there. I'm really sorry. I have no idea what's going on. It says there was inappropriate content.
There really wasn't.
I don't know why. I've changed my password and we're going again. So I shall just message people to say we're going again.
Same.
And we're going to try one last time. If we get cut off again, I'm very sorry, and I'll try and figure it out, and we can do it again maybe on Monday. But I'm going to try again now and see if it works again. So please tune back in. Tell people to tune back in. And
I've
then
texted my friends.
You've texted. So let's have one last go.
If it doesn't work, then hey
If
ho.
it doesn't work, we'll figure it out and try again on Monday. Right, let's try again. Onwards and upwards. Right, so I've made my loom. Have you made your loom? You've had time now while I was trying to resolve my technical issues. This is your loom, okay? Lily, keep going. Lily will keep going. And we're going to do the basic weaving, so basic. So I've got my loom. I always do left to right and then come back, okay? And it is better to start the pattern on top, because after that, when you take it off your loom, you can tuck the tails back in and hide them, okay? So the basic movement for the basic weaving is over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, until you get to the end. And then when you come back, if you finished over, you're going to come back under. If you finish under, you're going to come back over. So it's that simple for the really basic stitch. Over, under, over, under. So we'll try. As I said, I'm starting with over. I'm starting with over because then it's easier when you take it off to tuck your little tail in, like I'll show you at the end. Okay, Lily, do you want to try that one? Lily's going to do some blue. I like to leave the yarn on the actual ball while I'm doing it, but you can take it off and cut a length of it if you want to. I like to leave it on. So I'm going over, then here I'm going to lift my loom thread and go under. Sorry, I'm just trying to compose myself with all these technical issues. So under, then over this one. Bring you a bit closer. So over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and under. Okay, so that's as simple as that. So then I'm going to pull. I'm going to pull enough to keep going. Okay, because I want to do more than one row. Okay, and then that's when the fork comes in handy, that you can push it up to the top. Okay, so I'm going back. I finished under on this one, so I'm going to start the other way with over. So under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under, over. And it's then the opposite of what you've done on your first row. So that's how it sits well together, because you're doing the opposite. And then you pull so that you sit here at the end, but not too tight, because if you pull too tight, can you see your loom thread here? It's going to go in. So if you pull too tight, then your whole project will be like this at the end. So we don't really want that. So you pull tight enough for it to sit nicely, but don't pull too much that you're bringing these ones in, because that's not really pretty at the end, okay? Because it then looks a bit like an hourglass. You want it to look nice. Or it could be a design that you do it like that at the middle, but it's nice that it sits quite straight. I'm going to do another row to show you. So I finished under here. So I'm coming back from the left to the right, and I'm going to start over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. I pull all the way
Ouch.
so that it sits nicely in the corner, but not too tight so that I bring it in, okay? And I think I've got enough yarn to do another one. So I finish under, I'm going to start over, under, and then here I would like to add a bead, okay? So I've got beads. So I'm going to put my bead here. I've got a little stick to help me push my yarn because I've got quite a thick yarn. So I'm going to push it through, grab it, there we go. And that doesn't change my pattern, okay? So I'm going to make it sit when the thread is supposed to go over, okay? So it will sit on my over bit. And then I keep going in the next one and going under, over, and under to finish, okay? So I've got my bead sitting here. Oh, I'm going to do one more because I think I've got enough. I don't want to waste it. I'm going to do one more. What do you think? Yeah? Okay, so I finished under. I'm going to go over, under, over, under, over, under, over, and under. Okay. Oh, I can even do one more. Look.
Sure.
So I'm going to come back on the other side.
Happy birthday to Matilda.
Happy birthday, Matilda. Sorry about our technical issues. Hopefully now we're all right.
And
Let's
if you
hope so.
wanna,
Fingers crossed.
if you want to shout out, just text in the chat what your name is and where you're watching from, like where you are.
Right, okay. And now I've finished. I'm going to cut my first string. Always leave a few tails. Don't cut it here at the edge. Leave a tail so that when we're finished, we can tuck it back in, okay? So here's my basic weaving. Over, under, over, under, over, under, over, under. Come back the other side. Over, under, over, under, over, under. Super simple. And you can go as far as you want. The cat's trying to get in the camera. And then you can add beads in the middle if you want, okay? And then, yes, don't forget to leave some tails at the beginning and at the end, okay? Oh, there's Nugget.
No.
Nugget. Right.
Very grumpy.
Right, grumpy boy.
Can you have an applause for Nuggy, please? Bravo.
Round of applause for
Bravo,
Nugget.
Nuggy.
Such a
Grumpy cat.
very good on the...
Oh, okay, he's gone. He's gone.
Right. Now I'm going to change color. I could go and just do the same basic if I wanted all the way down just to practice. But I'm going to show you some other ones just so you know a few more, okay? I'm going to show you the one that's called twill. So for the twill weaving technique,
I've only ever done one.
yeah, well, there you go. You're going to learn one as well. So you need to do 2 by 2, okay? So 2 by 2, I'm going to start, again, I like to start on top. So the over, so then I can tuck my tail back in underneath. So over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2, okay? And then I pull my string so I have enough to come, my yarn so I have enough to come back, okay? But when I'm going to come back, I'm going to do just 1 so that then it gets the opposite of what I've got at the top. Because if I just go over 2, it's just going to look the same, but I want it to look a little bit one off. So I've got 2, 2, 2, 2. And then the first one, I'm going to do just 1. Okay, so just 1. And then after that, I'm going back to 2. Okay, back to 2. Yeah.
Back to 2.
So I've got 2. This one I went 1 on, 1 over. So I'm going to do 2 under, 2 over, 2 under, and then I finish it with 1. Okay, so you see it's not exactly the same as on the top. And then I'm coming back and I finished over, so I'm going to do 2 under, because this one I do the same. 2 under, 2 over, 2 under, 2 over. So this is the same as my first line. Okay. And then when I come back, On the way back, I do just one. So one under.
Just tighten my knot.
Okay, and then two over, two under, two over, and under. Okay, so that's
white.
you have some white, yes. So that is the twill one. Okay, I'm going to do one more, show you. So I'm coming back. I finished which one? Oh, I'm just using that one. So you use that one for now. So I've done. I was under here, so I'm going to start two over, two under, two over, two under, and then I remember that when I come back to do right to left, I only do one, and then I go back to two.
Okay.
Over, under, over, under, over. Okay. So this is the twill. So the twill is 2 by 2, 2 over, 2 under, 2 over, 2 under. When I come back this way from right to left, I only do one. Then I go back to 2, 2, 2, 2, and then I'll finish with just one because it's at the same, there's only the 2 left here. And then again, I'll come back, 2, 2, 2, 2, come back just 1, 2, 2, 2, finish with the 1, and come back, 2, 2, 2, 2, come back just 1, 2, 2, 2, and finish with 1. Okay? As long as you remember, there's over, under, you should get there. Okay? So this is my twill. Okay, so it looks a bit different than the one from the top. Yeah?
Just eating some more on the fork.
Okay, so that was the twill. I'm going to now show you the basket weave. Okay, the basket weave, so you only do there and back with one bit of wool, then you have to change bits of wool and do there and back, again, there and back. So you only do one there and back. Okay, so I'm going to do with blue for this one. So the basket weave, so it's as well, you do 2, 2, 2, 2, but this time you'll come back 2, 2, 2, 2. Okay? Can you go and get the charger? So start 2 over, 2 under, 2 over, 2 under, and then I come back 2 over, 2 under, 2 over, 2 under. Okay? Look in there. So I don't need that much because I'm only doing one there and back. Okay? So 2 over, 2 under, 2 over, 2 under, and cut. Okay? So you've only just done one there and back. Then I start again, and then I just do exactly the same thing.
Charger doesn't reach. Is it gonna die? Sorry about this.
So many issues, so many issues.
Well, it's the first time.
Yeah. I'm going to move down here. Bear with me.
Ah, the face.
Spend so much time figuring out the technical issues that we're running out of battery. There we go. Okay. So back to my basket weave.
What's my share?
So I've done over, under 2, over, over, under, and then back. So I'm going to do exactly the same thing. Over, under, over, under, and then coming back the opposite way. That's nice. Okay. So just make sure you're not wasting your yarn. Just use as much as you need. That's it. And then cut and leave a tail. Here's my fork. Just to push it back. So you can see it looks a little bit like a basket. Okay, if you have a basket at home, you can see that is the basket weave. And I'm going to do one more to really get the effect. So over 2, under 2, over 2, under 2. Yeah, come back. Over, I finished under, so I'll go back. Over, under, over, under. Go. I might even do one more. Do I have enough to do one more? Do. So we get a nice basket effect. Okay. There we go. Okay. There we go. This is our basket one. Do you see the basket? That's it. Well done. This is our basket weave. Now I'm going to show you something called a sumac. Sumac one. Okay, so that's a very different that one. For the sumac, I'm going to cut a bit like this, and it's easier to secure your tail. You're not letting it dangle. We secure it by doing like this, a bit of a, you're going around once on your first vertical, sorry, okay? So like this, you just go around it to secure it, okay? So instead of going over and under for this one, oh, sorry, Nels.
Stone string.
I'm going to take my yarn, and then I'm going to place it on top like this, and then I'm going to tuck it under and grab it. Okay, can you see? I've placed it on top of the 2 first ones, and I've tucked it under number 2, and I'm grab it and pull it. Okay, and it sits like this. Okay, so I'll try it again. I put it on top of number 3 and 4. And I'm going to tuck it under number 4. Okay? Like that. Okay? Place it on top of 5 and 6. And tuck it under number 6. Okay? And then on top of 7 and 8, and tuck it under 8. Okay, so it's a bit of a different one, like that. Okay, and before going back, I'm going to just do one tuck over and under, just to secure it at the end, so it doesn't move around. Okay. And then you go back the same way. Over 2 and tuck it under. Over 2 and tuck it under. Over 2 and tuck it under. Oops, stuck. Go. And then secure it at the end. Okay. And all the time you're doing this, you can always slip a bead in there, yeah? And then again, just push it with your fork so it sits nicely next to the other one, okay? And cut my tail. Well, the last thing I'm going to show you is how to do a tassel, okay? For a tassel, you need about, well, you can do as many as you want, but it's nice to have about 3. So 3 bits of string, 3 bits of yarn the same size. If you're using quite thick yarn, you don't need too much. If you're using thin, you could do loads. It's just how big you want your tassel to be, okay? So I've got my 3 bits of yarn together, and I'm going to put them on top, center them on top of the 2 first loom threads, okay? Here on the left, I'm going to tuck in my 3 bits of yarn underneath thread number 1 and bring them back in the middle. Bring them back through the middle, okay? So tuck them under and bring them back through the middle. Okay, and then I'm going to do the same on the right side. Tuck my 3 strings under thread number 2 and then bring them back through the middle. Okay, and now I have my little bunch and I'm going to push it down and I've got my tassel. Yeah, let me do another one. So you can do them 2 by 2 and you can have 4 tassels at the bottom of your weaving. Okay, so again I'm going to do 3 bits of yarn, approximately the same length. I can always trim them at the end if I think they're too long. Okay, so I have my 3 bits of yarn. I'm going to sit them on top of loom 3 and 4. On the left, tuck it underneath number 3 and bring it through the middle. And then on the right, tuck it under loom 4 and bring it through the middle. Okay, and then put it down. Okay, you've got 2 tassels. So I'm going to do the 4 quickly, and then I'll show you then how to finish off your weaving. You need to do a bit more. I'm not going to cover it all because you don't need to sort of see it all now that you've got the technique. But make sure you cover it all so that it's filled to the bottom. If you push regularly with your fork so that it all sits nice and tight, and then just keep going until you've filled it all in. You can alternate with basic and sumac and basket, you know, alternate with all of those. So you have a nice pattern, alternate your thickness of yarn and your number of lines that you do, your colors, put some beads in, all sorts of things that you can do to make a lovely pattern. You can choose colors that complement each other, or you could go the whole thing the same color, all black or all white, and just use different textures of yarn, and then you can accent it with some beads or buttons. You could use buttons. You could also try and do it with bits of paper. So if you cut thin strips of paper, weaving with paper is really nice, but you only do 1 line of basic, and that looks quite pretty, different types of paper. Okay, so now I've got my tassels at the bottom. So it's very easy to finish it off, okay? To finish it off, you turn it around and you're going to cut all your strings in the middle. Not close to the top or the bottom, because you need enough string to tie it together, okay? If you put it too close to here, then you only have tiny little bits and you won't be able to tie a knot, okay? And then 2 by 2, you're going to pull them out. 2 by 2, I often start with the bottom. Okay, 2 by 2, pull them out and tie a double knot. Okay, double knot. These 2, pull them out of my loom. Double knot. Two by 2 again, those 2 double knots. And for the top bit, you can just leave it like this and do the same thing that you're doing at the bottom. Or you could have a stick and then tie it around the stick, or a chopstick, or a crayon, a paintbrush. So this is my bottom. Then you can cut your little tails. You don't want to see those, but sometimes if you've used nice string, it's nice to see them. just trim it the way you want it, okay? And at the top, if you can undo the top, so a paintbrush, just give me a paintbrush, please. So I'm going to show you around the paintbrush, just to show you if you wanted to put a stick. So if you put something here, then you can hang it off a wall. So again, 2 by 2, I'm just going to knot my strings around what I've decided to use, okay? So don't maybe put it too tight to start with, because you could always tighten it up when you've decided that you're happy with how it's sitting, where it's nice and centered. I'm glad some people have come back. So sorry about the technical issues. I don't really know what happened. I hope we can do the next one without any issues. I was hoping we'd have a few more people, but I think we lost a few along the way because of our issues we've had. Right, so now that I've finished it, I'm going to trim. Again, you could leave the little tails if you think it's funky, or you can trim them off. That's it. So there is your weaving project, okay, with your tassels. Obviously mine looks a little bit bare because I didn't finish the bottom. And then the little tails on the side, you just take them to the back and either stick them with sellotape. If you're going to put it in the frame, you can just stick them. You can weave it through, just pop it through like this and bring it to the back and weave it at the back, or stick it like that. You can weave it through your work again, make it invisible. These ones as well, you just stick them at the back. Stick all of those at the back like this. And that's it. Here's your project. So you can start again at home, watch it again. All the weaving techniques should be on this last video. So you should be all right to see all of it now. And thank you very much for tuning in. Hopefully next time we won't have as many issues. Let's say bye-bye, Lily.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Happy birthday, Matilda.
Happy birthday, Matilda.
Bye.
If you're still there.
Bye.